Season 3 of the UnTold Truth. This one's different. This isn't about the stories anymore. It's about transformation. It's about what happens after the pain, after the setbacks, after the moments nobody else sees. The UnTold Truth is the space where real people have real conversations about healing, about growth and purpose, and becoming who you were always meant to be. This season, we're going deeper, more honesty, more perspective, and more truth. Because at the end of the day, it only takes each one to reach one to teach one. And your story, it might be the one that changes everything. Welcome back to the UnTold Truth. I'm your host, Joshua Brinkley. Today I have Adam Desgain with me. What's going on, Adam?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
No doubt, no doubt. So Adam's a guy that's from Randolph, Virginia. A little bit older than me, but grew up in the same area, and has a lot of expertise with basketball. Also not just playing, but also coaching. So we're gonna jump into these questions. But first things first, you know how we do with the bio. Adam Desgain was born on October 23rd, 1989 in Richmond, Virginia, where his journey in basketball and life first began. Growing up with his two younger brothers, Chase and Zach Desgain, he started playing basketball at just 10 years old, including AAU with Richmond Metro. He attended Short Pump Middle School, where his passion for the game continued to grow. Adam went on to attend Tucker High School, where he played JV as a freshman before becoming a 3-year varsity starter from 10th through 12th grade. He led the region in scoring in his senior year, averaging 25 points per game, and earned first-team all-district honors his junior and senior years. He continued his career at Randolph-Macon College, where he initially played under Coach Mike Rhodes, who is the former head coach of RMC, before going to go coach at BCU. Early adversity tested him, as limited playing time his freshman year led to thoughts of quitting. Instead, Adam stayed the course, eventually becoming a key contributor, hitting a game-winning buzzer beater and helping lead his team to a Final Four appearance. He later tied a school record with 11 three-pointers in a game and finished his career with 92 wins. After college, Adam transitioned into coaching, eventually becoming head coach at Tucker High School, where he led one of the program's most successful seasons in decades. Today, he is a husband, father of 3, and outside sales representative with United Rentals. Adam's story is more than just basketball. It's about resilience, it's about growth, and choosing to keep going when it could be easier to stop. All right. So, like I said, Adam is a guy that I've actually looked up to growing up. I was never really a shooter like that. But when you think about shooting, when you think about playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, for me, Adam is one of the guys that I think of first, especially from the local area. So, first things first, Adam, where are you from? What side of town you grew up?
Well, as you could say, you classified as the West End, but so grew up kind of near the Springfield Road. That's where born and raised. But when you kind of think of your typical kind of West End person, definitely far from it.
Yeah.
So I really don't claim the West End, but that's where I was born.
What middle school did you go to?
I'd say so at the time, Short Pump,
Okay.
because nothing else was really built. Deep Run was just coming into existence, and then I think Hunter Creek Middle School was still not built yet. So I attended Short Pump, started there, started to fall in love with basketball there.
Okay. So you had 2 brothers. What was it like growing up with 2 brothers?
So like when you really dive back into it, and like now then I'm 36 years old, and we kind of hated each other growing up, just because super competitive,
Yeah.
like always wanted to kind of outdo each other in certain things. Because they were 2 years younger than me. So when I was a senior at Tucker, Chase was a 10th grader, Zach was a 9th grader. So they played on JV. So never got a chance to play with them. But growing up, it was always competitiveness, and didn't really kind of see eye to eye a lot until like the last probably 5, 6 years that we've all three of us have become a lot closer.
Okay, in the past 5,
Yeah.
6 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, okay. So y'all kind of feuded growing up. I can see that, because you very competitive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know Zach for sure is competitive.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
in fact, I think that's a strong one, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
A couple years ago, I think I may have even texted you. I was like, "Yeah, I think your brother's at the gym."
Yep.
So how did your parents kind of navigate that with y'all being so competitive?
Kinda just stay out the way, to be completely honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just kinda stay out the way and, kinda let us semi figured out. I mean, they always kinda wanted what was best for us, but never really got in the way. I mean, they would say, like, "That's your brother," and
Yeah.
things like that, but being competitive and each of us kinda having a chip on our shoulder has kinda made who we are today.
Okay. Okay. And so Zach and what's your other brother's name?
Chase.
Chase. So Zach is a little shorter one.
Yep.
Chase is almost your height.
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. How's Chase doing?
Good. He's doing really well. He's got a daughter. He lives in the Mechanicsville area,
Yeah.
so see him a lot still.
Okay. And we talked a little bit about Zach before we started recording.
Yeah,
Zach's doing very well too.
he's doing very well. Yep, got married last year. He's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's a boy or girl. They're gonna wait,
Okay.
find out. So they be think he or she's due like the middle of August, I think.
Okay.
So doing well. He's doing well.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Glad the family's doing well, healthy.
Yes, sir.
Sounds all right. So yeah. Next question here. Um, who is Adam outside of basketball? Because people see athletes, people see yourself or me, and think that that's just all we are. But even growing up, who was basketball or who was Adam outside of basketball?
So right now, I mean, first and foremost is definitely a husband first and a father.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of two most important things I probably pride myself on. Like at the end of the day, I mean, that's who I come to every day. That's who's always in my corner.
Yeah.
Still looks up to me. So definitely husband and father first is definitely two biggest things right now.
Okay. And then what about when you were growing up? I mean, did you, like for me, for example, I like to draw, and, I remember going up to Delaware and I was drawing on my business. The coaches thought that was weird,
Yeah.
but I just had a creative mindset. So who was Adam outside of basketball growing up?
Man, growing up, I kept to myself. Like I had just the one goal of like, hey, I want to go play basketball. I want to do this. So I didn't really like going to high school. People would go to parties and things like that. That wasn't really a thing for me. I just kind of wanted to focus on basketball, play basketball.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. So I didn't really do a whole lot outside
Yeah.
with basketball while I was in high school.
Okay. Okay. So speaking on high school, you went to Tucker.
Yep.
Um, I probably got a lot of questions about this
Yeah.
because I wasn't there for I guess I saw you play, but I wasn't there for the start of it.
Yeah.
So talk about your experience at not Delaware. Talk about your experience at Tucker.
Nah, it was great. It was great, man. It's started off going into ninth grade year, played JV. I mean, I thought it was the best thing and thought I was gonna be on varsity, but kind of got humbled with myself on JV my ninth grade year. I think I did extremely well. Um Fast forward kind of 10th grade, was named a starter. The 11th grade is really when things started to kind of pick up. Started out was a first team um all selection, and then the senior year is kind of when it really took off. Like you said before, like I led the region event scoring from start to finish. Like it was great back then because you could open up the paper and you would see it and you see my name at the top among a lot of good people. Like when you were a junior, I think when I was the senior, so it was like you, Travis, Trust Mackay. There's a bunch of big name guys in there. So really took off and really kind of had to kind of fight for myself too, with being at Tucker, because everybody still to this day that kind of thinks, oh, because you went at Tucker, you coach at Tucker, you're not this, you're not that.
Right.
And that's kind of where I developed like a huge kind of chip my shoulder to go out and compete, kind of show people it doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah. And I remember, I didn't know your mindset, but I could tell by the way you played. You out there with a chip on your shoulder to the point where it's like, okay, I go to Tucker, but you finna get your ass bust.
Yeah, that's I mean, growing up being like and that was back to like I kind of had to adapt to it. So growing up playing like AAU and stuff, and I mean, you could call me the token white guy. I mean, that's kind of how it was. And like people when the basketball player, you see a white guy on the court, you're like, I'm gonna go at him.
Right.
And I took that disrespect. But so like that's what's like, all right, if I don't show up every day and kind of play with a chip on my shoulder, they're gonna walk all over me. Anybody is. And that kind of still to this day is the person that I am. Because if you see me coach on the sidelines or even play now, I've got that like I'm kind of enthusiastic, I'm fiery, and like if you didn't know me, you just saw me play basketball or coach basketball, you're probably like, well, that guy's a dick
Yeah.
until you really get to know me. But that's just the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't do that, you would walk all over me and I would just be
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah. Just left behind type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. That I agree with. I mean, I'm pretty sure we follow each other on Instagram. I call it the dark side.
Yeah.
Because people that don't know me, I may come off as an asshole, but in reality, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
It's just that you go through a lot over time, and it's like, no, you're not gonna walk over me no more.
Yeah.
I have a backbone now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that is the thing on the basketball court. People get on the basketball court. Oh, the white dude, the white, yeah. All he can do is shoot.
Yeah.
Nah, Adam can do more than that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Any challenges other than that on the basketball court? Any challenges you face at Tucker?
I mean, I mean, you can kind of like, I mean, say it's a going, I'm going, short palm. You kind of split. So like half of them went to deep row, half of them went this.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of hard because like growing up with speech impediment and things like that, you have to go speech classes. And so people really got to know you short pump as the dude with stutters. So going to high school, you playing against a bunch of these different people. And it was like almost to, I mean, you play the other student sections and they screaming like, oh, he stutters, blah, blah, blah. So that was really, I mean, I guess you could say kind of some semi-bully, that part growing up. But you know me, like I feed off that stuff. Like if you want to talk trash to me, I'm gonna blow you kisses in the stands while I'm scoring in the 30. So I did that a couple of times, but that was really the only kind of hard part. Like then eventually, like people would try to walk all over you and kind of make fun of you for that.
Yeah. So speaking on that, because I had a conversation with you briefly before, and I wanted to be respectful of that, but may you kind of share that. I'm not gonna say I have a speech impediment, but I do stutter a lot, and maybe I don't know how that works. Maybe it's tears to it or what have you. But I remember there was this one time growing up that I didn't really stutter that much, and then me and some of my friends started making fun of somebody who stuttered. And next thing I know, like a year later, I'm stuttering. So obviously, first of all, don't bully people. That's what you're doing because it might happen to you. That's what happened to me. But over time, and I have I'm kind of afraid to talk in front of a camera, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. But also just talking in front of a lot of people. So having a speech impediment, and to be honest with you, got a lot better. To the point where I feel like you've not mastered the joint. I've gotten a lot better myself as well, but it comes with a lot of self-confidence, for one, and for two, I think the science behind it, because I've looked into it for myself, the science behind it is the brain moves faster than the mouth. The brain moves faster than the mouth. What you're trying to say. So, I guess navigate that I guess nuance or whatever you call that. Navigate that for me.
Yeah, it was weird because I never realized. I think it started like in elementary school where I'd have to go to speech classes, and then kind of fast forward like sixth, seventh grade. Like you're at that age too where you kind of want to not do it. You wanted to go rebel, and like I would try to skip going to my speech class. But then the whole school got to know because they would call you over the loudspeaker like, Adam Desgain, please report the speech therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh damn,
Yeah.
like kind of get caught out,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Um, but it was, I mean, it was kind of bad, but got a lot better. To this day, too, like the hardest thing for me to do, like growing up, was to say my name.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the sound or what.
Yeah.
So like I always used to hate kind of introduce myself to people because I was sit there and sometimes just couldn't get it out. But I have to start over. You got people looking at you like sideways.
Yo, these are sweating.
Yeah. Then now as you get older and stuff, I think there's certain people, the world living now is like a lot of people are still going to judge you because you can't do that. But I think people have a better understanding now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I would agree, and some people don't. Some people, the people that don't, I don't really care about you. But when it comes to, I think people should understand that for one. For two is it's never good to really talk about somebody's issue, because imagine if I walked around and said, "Oh, you're short." Yeah, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
I feel now. So, well, yeah, I'm glad you've been able to, kind of overcome that. And I think coaching and doing stuff like this,
Yeah.
it's always a working process,
100%.
especially like for me behind closed doors. Claire sees it a lot more than anybody else see it. I'm able to hide it, but kudos to you, bro. That's how I appreciate that. Yes, sir. So yeah, moving on to RMC. I was actually at your that was a Hall of Fame driver. What was that?
So last what
Couple months ago.
couple months ago,
So RMC played.
yes, so they're playing an NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
No, I think you were in one of the games. Yes, one of the games. They played. Yeah, I did see you at a game. I think they were playing Avery. So I think Tobias was playing.
Yeah, they had you with
Yeah, so that was alumni game. So that was just alumni day. So they called us back, stuff like that. But that was
Okay. Okay, so that wasn't the Hall of Fame, but are you in the Hall of Fame at Tucker?
yeah. So I'm in the Hall of Fame.
And that's what it was.
Matt Tucker. So the year I got the head coaching job of 2018, I got inducted into the Hall of Fame there.
I got you. Okay, well deserved. Well deserved. All right. So yeah, I saw you at the alumni game, and they kind of patted you on the back there. And I saw you out there. I'm like, oh, that's Adam. Yeah, bro, this is just a coincidence.
Yeah.
I didn't know they was gonna call your name out there like that. It was just one day. Malcolm, what's his name? Malcolm Hodges.
Yeah.
Malcolm Hodges, who plays for RMC.
Yeah.
What up, Malcolm? Actually, probably about a year before that, I had went to go play with them.
Okay.
Right before the season started, and ended up went out there with the young boys.
Yeah.
That's my elbow. That's my elbow
Yeah.
stuff. But I was able to meet him, and me and him been kind of cool ever since. But he put me on the will call that game, just random. I just hit him up. I was like, oh damn. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. So yeah, talk about first of all, how was RMC as a school?
It was great, man. It was how I got recruited there with Coach Rose. His wife was actually a teacher of at Tucker.
Okay.
So he got to kind of know me that way. I mean, I always thought like going just like everybody, man, I'm a Division I athlete. I only want to go play D1, this, and that.
Yeah.
And my senior year, it clicked. We played in the BCCC, Benedictine, and we played Sean Mosby, who played at St. Francis, played in Maryland. And he guarded me. I guarded him. I scored 25 on him, but I also gave up 25 because he was strong as shit. And I think at that point, it realized that all right, I might not be a Division I athlete, and I'm going to go to Randolph-Macon because I committed there late. I thought about going Fork Union to still have the aspiration of being a Division I player, but decided to go there. It was a good fit. I mean, like you said in the beginning, like you go from being the leading scorer in the region to not playing a lot.
Yeah, that's got it.
And that, so yeah, it was definitely to the point where the season was done. I never forget, I started emailing a bunch of coaches like, hey, I just want to be able to walk on. I want to do this, and that. And Coach Rose called me and was like, what are you doing? Because I didn't realize that coaches talk. I thought you just going to hit them up. Oh, yeah, we're going to recruit you. The Coach Rhodes called me into his office and was like, what do you want to do? And like, I had made my mind up when I left my room that day that I was just going to quit. because I wasn't gonna play. And then had a sit down. Coach Rose, he believed in me, things like that. He said things are gonna get better, and I'm glad that I stuck it out.
Yeah.
Because when he left, Coach Davis came in, so that was my sophomore year, and I started to play a lot more.
Okay. Okay. Now, why was he not playing you?
I mean, it's when you think about it too, like, and it didn't hit till late. It's like, is everybody on that team was the best player their high school, and it took a while for me to realize that going into college, like, there's guys in front of me that are stronger than me, that are seasoned vets. They're sophomores, juniors. Jordan Brown played in front of me, who played at Bird. So there was guys that were more skillful, and I just kind of had to wait my turn. I would get a chance, and I thought I would play great,
Yeah.
but I guess it wasn't as good as I guess could have done.
Yeah.
So I would play sparingly here, sparingly there, and it's just like, man, I'm not gonna put the time and the effort in if I'm barely gonna play.
Right. Right.
So I was like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna go to like James Madison and just play on the club team,
Yeah.
do this, and that. And then fast forward to the senior year. I mean, I was playing a lot. My sophomore year, we went to the Final Four. So I'm glad I did stick it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't even know that. I mean, I was in college doing my own thing. That's another thing that I'm starting to realize where, people who come on here who I've been close with here over time, like they didn't even know half the stuff I was going through or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or even what was happening at the time. But I didn't know that y'all went to the final, but that's dope.
Yeah. So my sophomore year, we went to G3 Final Four. We had lost in the conference championship, got an at-large bid. And then first round was great. I was playing some of the best basketball because I was the seventh man coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So that year was great.
Yeah.
So we had upset a lot of teams, I guess you could say, really get to the Final Four.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, Randolph-Macon College. It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. How was the college itself?
The college is great, man. I mean, you're far enough away from home, but you're still close enough. Small. I mean, it's grown now, so like half the stuff that's there now wasn't there when I was there. But I think when I went, there was only like 1,400 kids. So your teachers get to know you on a first name basis. People around community get to know you, especially if you play with sport. There's a good kind of alumni backing and stuff. Was great.
Yeah. 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 That's my neck of the woods.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ashland itself is growing, and I know you were into real estate, but I always tell people like if you want to get into buying houses or real estate, Ashland's the place. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that's a growing area. But you mentioned Mike Rhodes, Coach Mike Rhodes. Fun fact, and I had mentioned this in the first season of my journey. But fun fact, Mike Rhodes, right before I went off to Delaware, I started to realize like I need to start kicking into the next gear because I want to get up there and I want to be able to start or at least play a lot. Everybody wants to play when they get to that next level because you're right. Once you get to the next level, everybody's fucking good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I showed my impact when I got to Delaware. So long story short, Mike Rose was head coach of RMC, and somehow I got in contact with them directly, or my mom did, and we started working out one-on-one. This is the summer right before going into Delaware. So he taught me a lot of because in high school I was a center,
Yeah.
right? But that's not really my position.
Yeah.
And so he had me doing a lot of, ball handling drills as if I was guard. Obviously working on my soft touch around the rim too. But for me, Mike Rose was a decent, I guess, trainer.
Yeah.
How was his or what was your experience like with him as not just as a coach but as a in practice and stuff like that?
I mean, it was great. I mean, the very first day, and I tell my story every time I see him. He would kick me out of practice before practice even started. My freshman year, so
Yeah.
we used to have pre-practice, and like, man, you come in, you got your gear, you're like, man, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to shot. So we do shooting drills, and I shoot a fadeaway, and he was like, "You fade away again. Go ahead, fade your ass straight out that door. Go grab a sandwich and don't come back." I was like, "Oh shit!" That he's like he's not playing around.
Yeah.
He was super intense, and
Yeah,
that's
he
where
was.
like I think I got it, kind of some playing like put into my game and coaching. But he's great, man. I mean, still to this day, I talk to him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Before I got the head coaching job at Tucker, he went out of his way, sat down with me for like I think like 2 hours to go over like the interview process of being a head coach.
Oh, for real?
So he didn't have to do that. I
Right,
mean, VCU, he was the head coach there. He'd allow me to come to workouts. E- every time I send him a text message, he responds back.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and it was kind of cool. So his son Logan, when they moved back, his son went to Godwin. So his son originally had gone to Blue Ridge and played at Godwin, and this was early on in my coaching career. That he got to see me. So he was sitting in the stands because he was watching his son play, and I thought that was pretty cool. Is he used to see me coach,
right.
somebody that if I look up to is now in the stands,
Yeah.
kind of being a spectator. So I saw that. It was
Full
pretty
circle.
cool. Yeah, it was cool. And I still talk to him to this day. I mean, not as much because he's busy and stuff like that. But every time I send him text messages, "Hey, good win," or things like that, he
Yeah.
responds back.
Yeah. Now where's he at now?
So now he's a head coach at Penn State.
Penn State. Okay.
Yeah. So he was at VCU, did really well, and now he's the head coach at Penn State because that's where he's from. So he's from the Pennsylvania area.
I got you. And BCU now has Marcelli.
Yep.
And it's another full circle moment. It's so crazy. Like basketball keeps everybody together, like without you even knowing.
Yeah.
So Marcelli was assistant coach at Delaware when I was there.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's also it's kind of dope to see that. He did pretty well this year.
Yeah.
This is his first year, right?
This is the first year. Yeah.
He did pretty well.
You know, they upset Carolina and
Yeah.
the tournament down there. So that was good to see.
Yeah. Now, do they still have the whole Havoc thing going? Like, I've seen them
Yeah,
there a couple of years.
Yeah, they try to still they play extremely hard.
Yeah,
They do. So that's they pride themselves on that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned that you didn't have much playing time. I guess what kept you there?
I think coach believing in me like was the biggest thing because like I said, like I had made my mind up to my roommate that man, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna transfer schools. I'm gonna quit.
Yeah.
Then I guess coach was believing in me. Coach Byers, who I still talk to a lot, who's an assistant coach at Virginia Tech. I mean, he believed in me too
Okay.
because he stayed on when coach was left as a sophomore. But I think just someone believing in me is knowing there was another gear that I could get to, and then just kind of taking that and getting to work.
Yeah, I mentioned this a couple of different times, but we didn't get here by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, you need people like that in your life. Mentors, coaches, some even teachers.
Yeah.
You know, that they help you get to that next level. And it's the little stuff. You know, obviously you do most of the work, right?
Yeah.
But they plant that seed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without that seed, you know, you might end up somewhere else.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's very important to have people like that in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about that. The game winning buzzer beater.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
We played down in Hampton, Sydney. So if anybody that knows Randolph-Macon knows Hampton, Sydney, we don't like them.
Yeah.
They hate us. We hate them.
Yeah.
It's like when you go down there to play like in a basketball game, like you almost feel like you're down like Cameron Indoor Stadium because like it's an all boys school. So unfortunately, that's all they got to look forward to is basketball games, football games, and things like that. So we were playing down there. We were. Let's see, we were top 5 in the country then at that point. We were winning or losing by, I think we were down by like 10 or 12. We came back, we cut it to 2. I never forget. I was struggling, not shooting the ball great. Our point guard at the time, he caught the ball in the wing. And he had a wide open layup. And the coach called timeout. Okay. I was like, man, what is he doing? So we run this play called Tide, which guy refuses the ball screen. Then the guy setting the ball screen comes screams for me, and I'm on the wing. So run that. He's like, for you. I'm like, all right, it's gonna go in. So I hit the shot with like 1 second left, and it like silenced the whole place. Silenced the whole place. They got the ball. They threw up a 3/4 court shot and it hit the back of the rim.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, to beat your rival, that's kind of something that you dream about.
For sure.
And it's just like like people on campus get to know you. Like it was a Wednesday night game. I've been in January. So like we had this thing called J turn where you just take one class. So people were partying on Wednesday night because we beat them. So it was kind of cool to come back and to see that, and we get a bunch of love for that. But I mean, that was a pretty cool moment, and just to kind of trust in with the process too. Is like even I think I was 1 for 4 at the time from three, but the amount of times and the shots that I would put in as a shooter,
Gotta trust that.
yeah, you got to trust it and just have a regular mindset.
Yeah, yeah. So you hit the 3-pointer.
Yeah, so down two.
Down 2. You hit
Down
down.
two
Oh,
from three.
that's tough.
Yeah. Down at their place too was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we had another game that Saturday. I continued the hot streak of shooting, and then we got ranked #1 in the country at that point. So that was cool.
Yeah. They probably still talk about that shot, though.
It's funny. A lot of people still do it anytime. I see like a bunch of former teammates, bunch of alumni that are there. They're like, yeah, I remember that shot. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I've never had a game winning shot like that, but you know, I can only imagine what that felt like.
It was great. Especially those guys, like we hate them, like they hate us. I mean, I really don't think it's a rivalry anymore. About jumping around with that because they beat us a couple years ago, but then like fast forward, like they kind of got their number now. So if anytime you beat them, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You mentioned the Cameron Indoor Stadium. I actually had a chance to play out there.
Yeah,
At Duke. Yeah, man, it's a hell of a league. I used to play, and I played against Mason Plumlee.
okay.
That team back in 2013. Big white.
Yes,
He's huge.
yes, yes.
So yep, farm
Yeah.
boy / 6'11". He's all of 6'11".
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's great. But yeah, man, that's dope. That again, you got to experience that, and I think college for me, was speaking on college. I think you learn a lot of college.
Yeah.
Um, you learn a lot about yourself. The good, the bad, and the
yeah.
and so it's all about what you do with it, though.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, you know, I'm not the same person I was in college, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
Exactly. But the little things that I did learn, 'cause I almost got kicked off the team too. The little things that I did learn, like Josh, like, you know, go to class.
Yeah.
You know, you should probably go to class in college.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
treat people with respect. That type of thing. But that's dope, man. So, coming from college, I guess what did you get into after college?
So I've been I got in that's when coaching started. So I started to I was an assistant coach, went out of high school. Ryan Stein was the head coach there. He attended Randolph-Macon as well. I think he graduated in like 2004 maybe. So we got into that and then got into the sales world. And I've been doing both ever since.
Okay. Okay. So you still have a real estate license?
No, I got out of that when COVID hit. But I dabbled in that for a couple years.
Okay. And how was that experience? Wait.
Hard. And until like when you realize like if you're not selling a house and things like that, there's no money coming in.
Right.
So it's really kind of eat what you kill. I mean, and if you're not killing anything, you're struggling. So, right, and things like that. And I think it takes time. I think a lot of people they see it as like, and I kind of was the same. Like you see, like, oh man, like this kind of work life balance is great. You do what you want, this and that. But it takes like, I think to be super successful in it, it takes you probably 4 or 5 years to really get invested, build up book of business. So yeah, I got out of it when kind of COVID happened.
Okay. Okay. And what are you doing now?
So now I work for United Rentals. I'm the outside sales representative on the sanitation side. So we do Porta Johns, temp fencing, Russian trailers for all construction sites. So like these big data centers, your mom and pop shops, like the big Amazon buildings, a thing that you're building. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay, that's what's up. That actually, me and my wife we're working on this business. I don't know exactly what y'all do. I said probably talk a little bit more about you, but the other thing I'm doing is having a space where the UnTold Truth is loud. There's a lot of professionals that come together. In fact, you got invited to the cookout.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody that was on the show, or that I'm kind of close with, will be at that cookout and kind of bounce ideas off each other, kind of like a networking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
but yeah, maybe I don't know how we would use you, but our business ideas is something that requires outdoor,
Yeah.
building, so, I'll hit you.
100%. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yep. So, speaking more on what you're doing, not just for work, but, I guess you can call coaching work
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's a job in itself.
It's fun though.
But what is the biggest thing that you have learned about yourself going from player to coach?
The biggest thing that I probably learned is be you.
Yeah.
Don't change.
Yeah.
Like, because if we go back to what you're saying, like being with a fiery person and that on the court, like, that translates to kind of coaching is the biggest thing. And I think that you said it. I don't know if you said on camera, we were just kind of talking. Like, I really don't care what you think of me, as far as like you're like, man, like that coach is an asshole, or that hey, that dude's an asshole. If I don't know you or don't like have a relationship with you, I could care less about what you think. And that's kind of what coaching has allowed me to do is just continue be me to kind of block out all the noise and just kind of focus and kind of trust the process as well.
Yeah. Okay. When do you start preparing for the season?
So right now in the spring, so we get 2 days a week in the spring that we can be on the court with the guys, things like that. So that's what you do in the spring, and then of course you still play summer league, go to team camps, things like that.
Okay. That's what's up. I remember that process. We was always doing something for basketball. Obviously, as you get older and time goes by, you kind of forget the process. But basketball is an all year round sport. Yeah, people don't understand that. You think because it's the off season that you're not doing. No, you're that's the time that
Mhm.
that work.
Yeah.
Is during the off season. So yeah, you're a coach now. Uh, you work for not every those.
Yep.
But you're also a father.
Yep.
All right, speak on that for me.
Father of three. So we just welcomed a baby girl last month. So got a daughter. Appreciate that. Got a daughter, and 2 sons.
Okay.
So it's awesome. But fatherhood is great. My 7-year-old's into basketball now, into baseball, and the soccer. Even my 2-year-old, like like he wakes up in the morning and just takes a basketball and goes down, shoots the ball. Like he can shoot the ball pretty far for like a 2-year-old and like a little tight hoop. Yeah, and like that's all he wants to do. Like he'll watch the games. It's hilarious. Like, he'll watch the games and like he'll talk trash and be like, "He dunked on you. He dunked on his head." So, yeah, so yeah, exactly. That's my 7-year-old too. So, but fatherhood's amazing.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I saw you over at the Harlem Gold
Yeah.
down BCU.
Yeah.
And one of your sons was out there on the court, during halftime. I was like, wait, that's Adam's son.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that's what's up. But he ended up hitting a couple shots, didn't he?
He had won finally, so he like his first shot. He went out there and shot an air ball. And then they made him do 10 push-ups. He is legit 10 push-ups.
Yeah.
Finally made it.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I was proud of him for is there's sometimes you can be shy, and that's so he made a shot, and then he went out there and danced with him too, and that's just kind of like, and that's the kind of person that I am. You try to be you. You don't worry about things. So I was very proud of him for doing that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, he started dancing. So I ended up leaving the halftime, but I did catch that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So what I've noticed a little bit about, still speaking on the youth that you coach and work with, um, how is it like coaching? Because I had my own AAU organization that shut down because of COVID, called Tri-City Arsenal, and we were actually growing pretty big there. We had about 10, 11 teams right before, over 100 some kids. But I said that to say this. So how's it coaching? Because I noticed this when I was coaching them. How's it coaching this new age of kids, man?
I think it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, social media is kind of hurt the game a lot.
Yeah.
From a standpoint of everybody wants to kind of get their likes. They want to get their mixtape, this, and that. Man, I remember growing up, you to like the really good people had a freaking mixtape.
Yeah.
John Wall, all his life, who mixtape.
Right.
Now everybody wants to get they want to just get the likes. That's the hardest thing is trying to get through them. Is that's not all basketball is.
It's not.
It's you got to put in the work, you got to put in the time, and I'm trying to find like the disconnect of where like because I'm I'm 36, and it's like I'm not that much older than these kids.
Right.
So like I'm like, and growing up, like I wanted to be in the gym. I wanted to put the time in. I didn't care about social media. That really wasn't a big thing. But it's like, where's disconnect? Like, is it? I do see like parents do semi baby kids like these days, not just like just seeing it now with youth sports and things like that is like with little Johnny, he fell down, like you want to run out there and help him. Like it's funny, it's
Some dirt on it.
yeah, exactly. Because my 7-year-old plays, and if he falls down, he tries. I'm like, "Hey, get up, you're not hurt," and things like that. So try to get some tough love. Like that's the way that I coach too. Like I tell kids, I'm never gonna lie to you. I'm never going to lie to a college coach.
Yeah.
If a college coach calls and he says, "Hey, is this kid good? Can he play?" I'm gonna give him the complete honest truth.
Yeah.
And I tell the kids that like as well. Like if you're not playing well, unfortunately, you might not don't want to hear that. But I'm not gonna tell you that you're doing good. And I think like it's funny every kid that I've coached and is graduated has come back to me and said, "Oh man, I kind of wish I would have listened to you, coach. Like you were telling me the right things then,
Yep.
and now like fast forward to their adulthood, things like that. They were like, oh, you were exactly."
Yeah.
So that's sort of what I mean. I try to teach the game of life,
Yeah.
kind of through basketball.
Mhm. And that's the way you're supposed to do as
Yeah.
a coach. And, if you're a coach and you're not doing that, you're kinda doing a disservice to kids.
Exactly.
Because basketball is life.
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time, but a lot of the things that like my business, for example, all this that's all basketball, bro.
Yeah.
It's called, if you're on time, you late.
Yeah.
If you're early, you're on time.
Exactly.
You got here at 10:40.
Yeah.
I said to get here at 11.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like those values that basketball teach you, it goes beyond than just basketball. It's very important. So kids, if you're listening, listen to your coach, listen to your parents, the adults that are telling you the right things to do. But yeah, what I noticed that a lot of the kids nowadays, they're lazy, and not even just that, they don't make them as big as they used to. The kids nowadays, they seem to be a little bit. I know you said y'all had a 6'7" Indian kid, but um, that's kind of rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I remember growing up. Not only were we a lot more disciplined and engaged, or just going outside, kind of from the electronics and stuff like that, we were also just bigger kids. And I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, I think like now too. I mean, there's don't get me wrong. I think around here there's not that many as bigger kids and things.
yeah, around like on this area.
But like I mean, you go out to like different states, like the BYBL circuit or the 3SB circuit, things like that. Like you've got kind of freaks of nature.
No, no, yeah,
And I think a lot of the problem is too is kids is they see that they're like, oh man, well this kid is doing this, and that, but that kid's probably in the weight room 4 days a week. Or that kid's probably getting onto the court. That's what he said. Well, how exactly? You can't expect just to show up 1 day a week and be really good. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a huge point. I mean, I talk about that all the time. You got to put the work in order to be. You don't get good without nothing.
Yeah.
You got to put the work in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jarvis Street did a segment with him and from Hollis Springs, and he went to Dover and whatnot, but he talked about that. I didn't get this good just sitting at home doing nothing. You got to put it in there where you got to put it in that weight room, flip outside flipping tires.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know. Have you seen the Michael Beasley one podcast? Yeah, he was talking about stuff like that. So definitely put it in that work. That's how you get better. Obviously, Michael Beasley 6'10", 250. But even at 6'10", 250, 260, whatever he is, might be a little bit lighter than that, actually, more like 230, 240. But even with that, you still got to put in that work. For example, I done seen plenty of dudes with 7 feet and they like to read books, versus play basketball, but that's because they never put in that work or try to get into basketball again. So we have or we share kind of like a similar story when it comes to being married before. And you don't have to talk. You don't have to give too much information if you don't want to. But I know for me, you me and you both got married pretty young.
Yeah.
For one, and for two, um, you're in your 20s, you get married. This is the person you think that you spend the rest of your life with, and then all of a sudden, now you're in your 30s, you're not with them anymore. Uh, Talk about that experience for me and how that kind of, I guess, has affected or for the better or what have you.
Yeah. And I think I mean, yeah, just like you said, you think kind of one thing at a young age because it's comfortable, things like that. And kind of fast forward to now, I think it was the best thing to ever happen to.
Yeah.
During the time, of course, it does suck, but now my wife she was a person who I needed like all along. It's funny, like she was in a long-term relationship, got out of it when I was going through divorce, got out of that. It's funny because she went to Tucker, she went to Randolph-Macon.
Oh yeah.
So I joke with her all the time. I said, "You wouldn't give me the time of day. It's Tucker."
Yeah.
She was a softball player, but she was like, "Well, I didn't go to basketball games. I never went to school."
Yeah. Yeah.
And she went into the workforce right after school, and went back to Randolph-Macon, graduated when she was like 31, 32. But she was the person that I needed all along. And you realize it's funny how things work. And like for those, like, I mean, I guess at that time it wasn't in God's plan for us to meet.
Mm.
He kind of puts you through. I think everything in life happens for a reason.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that did. And coming up 4 years married, thank you, and having two beautiful children,
Yeah.
and somebody that I can seriously call my best friend. I mean, is been a blessing.
Yeah.
So that's you definitely. I mean, like that chapter's closed going back. That was going off on what COVID like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure for you, but I think it's the best thing that could ever happen to.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree. I wouldn't say the best thing for you, but I would say the best. I mean, I guess we could say the same thing, but best experience. Yeah, because I was able to learn who I was, what I needed to work on. And I also learned that that person wasn't for me. And actually the person I'm with now is the person who I should have been with from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, I'm with a real woman now.
Yeah.
No shade to her.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Love her to death. Still great person for who she is.
Yeah.
She's just not for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
And I need a grown woman. So for me, I agree with the part where you said this is the person that I needed the whole time. I leave with that.
Yeah.
Claire is someone. My wife Claire is someone who could put me in the check. Could check me.
Yeah.
Call me out.
Yeah.
Before people who I've dated, it's like they're kind of a pushover. And now as a man, you need your woman to check you sometimes.
So, yeah. I mean, she's amazing. Like when we were really bad at Tucker, when we first got together, she sat through, we lost 34 straight games. She came to every single game. Oh, there's never bitch once.
Yeah.
Never bitch once. Is always the biggest. That's your fact. The biggest supporter. She comes to a men's league game.
Yeah.
Very tough critic though. So I've also like if I miss free throws, like she calls me. Because she never got to see me play in college and play high school. And like it's funny. I tell her I'm better now than I was in high school in college. She's always there. Like she'll call me out, say well, you're half-assing this, you're not doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, I kind of need that. So
Yeah.
she's always in my corner.
Yeah.
She's one of the, if not the most hardest working woman there is. She doesn't want to work because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom because she's an amazing mother, but she's very good at her job as well.
Yeah.
She's climbing the ladder to get her job, and she's not a pushover either.
Yeah.
Like she can get feisty too.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to her kids and sports and things like that. Like I see the feisty side to it, and that's why they get along so good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's for sure. Claire carries that same trait, super feisty, and that's also a good trait that a woman should have.
Yeah.
No pushover.
100%.
Yeah, she can hold her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
Thank you as well.
Yeah. 'Cause, I, wa- I got divorced in 2021. You got divorced in 2020.
Yeah, like right around, yeah,
Right around that.
yeah, that was the only time.
We rock right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, What's one? I always ask. This is the last question for here. I always ask people the same question. Uh, what's one untold truth you want to leave with the audience? And it could be pertaining to you personally. It could be pertaining to the kids that you coach. Just the overall caption of like, okay, people forget that to love everyone. Everyone's equal. What's one untold truth you wanna leave with you?
I mean, I would say to one, just be who you are.
Yeah.
Don't try to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And that finally clicked for me probably, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to go to the gym all the time. Like I go into the gym. I'm not in the best, like I'm not the strongest dude in the world. I don't got 6-pack abs. And I used to always compare myself to other people. And I still found myself doing that occasionally. I'm like, man, I don't got this much money. I don't got this dude's physique.
Yeah.
I don't got this nice car, this and that. It used to drive me crazy. I used to be like, man, am I really failing at life?
Yeah.
Like, am I really sitting there? Like, am I doing the right thing? And you take a step back and you really be like, well, that's not your story.
Right.
That's not your path.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things is you just continue to write your own story.
Yeah.
Write your own book. And then, I mean, another thing too, we were kind of talking to before was it's okay to not be okay. I think that's the biggest thing as men that I've learned, like how like you just talking about Michael Beasley, and that just made me think of it too. Like his podcast that they were talking about how he was breaking down
Yeah.
and things like that. And I think us as men is they say like you got to be strong, you got to be this and that, but you really don't. It's okay to sit down and kind of talk to somebody, kind of call up a friend.
Yep.
Hey, I just need to talk.
Yeah.
I just need to this. I can't really talk to I can't really talk to my kids like that. I just need another kind of person to talk to, and then continue to kind of check in on people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the strongest person in the room is probably the one who's not doing okay. So those are kind of the biggest things that I would say.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that I agree with all of those. Yeah, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Once you realize that, go get some help.
Yeah.
It's all right to talk. It don't gotta be professional help, but like you said, it could be like a friend, like hit up a friend, but hey, I'm going through this.
Yeah.
Can you help me? Or can you just talk to me? I need somebody to talk to. Yeah, I 100% agree with both of those things. And be yourself, man. I don't know how else to be.
Yeah.
And you also said something about comparing yourself to others, and I'm not gonna say I do that, but I'll say this is that I am always measuring up next to people.
Yeah.
Where am I in life? Where should I be at in life? Is that the best way to go about it? Probably not, but I do agree with what you're saying. Like, none of that stuff matters.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is your path.
Yeah.
The path that you're on is the only path that you're going to ever be on because it's your life.
100%.
And so, just making sure, and again, I agree with you, making sure that whatever path you are on, making sure that you're moving forward, you're progressing. The whole point of the Untold Truth is to talk about these things to eventually get better. I think I went on your Instagram profile and it said something about being better than yesterday. That's one of my main things that I say as well, because it's important to do that.
Yeah.
If you're not growing, then what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You're either stagnant or you're falling by the wayside. And one thing about me is I'm not trying to fall by the wayside. So, but yeah, man, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate
you having me, man.
Yes, sir.
It's fun.
Yes, sir. That was dope. Pretty sure we'll get together soon. I know got a couple of things coming down the pipeline here. You going on vacation soon?
Yeah. Yep.
So that'll be dope. Y'all going to
We go to Nax Head.
Nax Head?
So we go to Nax Head.
When y'all going to Disneyland?
Hopefully, well, I think it's, well, I don't think my kids going to, but I think the Easter Bunny bringing tickets next year. So I think Easter Bunny bringing tickets next year. So that'll be fun as well.
Yeah, because we had talked about that briefly. You haven't been?
No, I never.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to, as adults, it's cool to see where, okay, I grew up like this.
Yeah.
All right, but now I'm here, not going to do the things that I didn't get to do growing up. So that's a blessing in itself. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you having.
Till next time. So you'll see us. In fact, Rock is going to be recording us.
Okay.
Come May 31st,
Nice.
2026.
Okay.
He'll get some footage from our game. We're playing in this, I call it tournament, but I guess a league.
Yeah.
Outdoor league, and a lot of good competition. A lot of guys like Duval Maxwell from Petersburg. Obviously Adam Desgain, myself, Josh Brinkley, and
Mikhail Sims is gonna play with us.
okay, Mikhail Sims.
A couple other really good players.
They're really good players. Yep. What's brother name? Jones, Nathan Jones.
Yeah, Adam Pickett is gonna play. He played at Winthrop.
Well,
He played.
oh yeah, I know that cat. Yep.
And Thomas Brown, who really good. He's from Nelson County, that area.
Okay.
And then a couple other guys.
Yeah. He get the last name cat. I think his last name Jones, but he played on Richmond Elite with us for a little bit. He like Quentin Jones. Yeah. Cute up.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talented dude. Right?
Yeah.
Shit.
But that you'll catch us on the court May 31st, 2026. I'm not sure how many games I'm gonna play. My knees be hurt.
You be all right. You so young. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys then. Again, appreciate y'all watching. Adam Desgain here. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.